The NASCAR Xfinity Series race has officially concluded for Michigan International Speedway, and this race had a lot of cautions early, some pretty long green flag runs, some decent racing, and Hunter Nemechek picks up another victory in Xfinity. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Xfinity Series race in Michigan International Speedway, the Cabo Wabo 250. We got quite a bit to talk about from this race. Let's go and talk about it. So for the green flag drop in today's race, Hunter Nemechek, Sage Karam, Kyle Weatherman, and Josh Williams would all have to go to the rear for unapproved adjustments. So at the start of the race, you had Josh Berry lead the field from the outside with Justin Allgaier on the inside, and Justin Allgaier got a really straight good run and was able to pass Josh Berry for the race lead and would lead early. The first caution race came out lap number 4 for Casgrove, spun battling Sheldon Creed. He just got loose on the bottom of Sheldon Creed's car, got loose and spun through the infield, bringing the caution out. Then we saw him come down pit road. So then on the restart, Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Josh Berry on the inside, and Justin Allgaier was able to get a really strong run and was able to pass for the race lead. Then the next lap, a major crash would happen going down the backstretch. We see contact between Ty Gibbs and Hunter Nemechek, and it would collect Sammy Smith, Carson Osbar, and Mason Maggio. To me, I think it was a little bit air loose. Ty Gibbs did get loose, but we also had Hunter Nemechek, who did get into the back of Ty Gibbs. Sammy Smith also had nowhere to go, and Carson Osbar just got completely clobbered and got a ton of damage in that wreck. Tough break for Carson Osbar and Sammy Smith and Mason Maggio as well. Those guys had nowhere to go in the incident. To me, I think it's just a little bit of a mistake on John Hunter's part, but also Ty Gibbs got a little bit loose there. And after, we saw some frustration between Ty Gibbs and Hunter Nemechek after the pit stops as well. They were not happy with each other, and John Hunter did say after the race he basically was at fault for the incident. Just a teammate situation where all the teammates took each other out. So down the restart, Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Austin O on the inside, and Justin Allgaier got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then a few laps later, another caution would come out for Mason Maggio, who stopped on the racetrack after hitting the outside wall really hard, bringing the caution out. So then on the restart, Justin Allgaier lead the field from the outside with Cole Custer on the inside, and Justin Allgaier got a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Justin Allgaier was able to pull out to a 2 or 3 second lead and would come off the corner and win stage number 1. Then basically we go to green flag pit stops at the time. Actually, pit stops that happened. You had Jen Burton actually spun coming onto pit road. You also had a safety violation as well. And you had a couple guys stay out there being Ty Gibbs, Hunter Nemechek, and Kaz Grall, while the rest leaders came down pit road. Then Ross Chastain came back down pit road a few laps later, basically after already pinning, basically had a damage on the front of the car. They had patched up a nose, and they had damage from that. So then on the restart, because of the strategy, you had Ty Gibbs lead the field from the outside and Sheldon Creed on the inside. And he saw Ty Gibbs get a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Then another lap later, trouble strike between Hunter Nemechek and Joe Graf Jr. Hunter Nemechek got contact for Joe Graf Jr. He hit the outside wall, got a ton of damage, and that brought the caution out. Just a mistake by 2 drivers who struggled in Xfinity this year. Then we saw a couple guys come down the road, that being Garrett Smithley, Joe Graf Jr., Hunter Nemechek, and he also had Joe Graf, who had damage on the hood. So then on the restart, you had Ty Gibbs lead the field from the outside with Riley Herbst on the inside, and we saw Ty Gibbs get a really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, they were basically staying single file about 10 or 12 laps. So Hunter was trying to pass Ty Gibbs, but couldn't. But eventually, we saw Hunter Nemechek able to pass Ty Gibbs about 7 laps to go in the stage. And then they radioed on basically during the broadcast about 15 to go in the stage that rain was on the way and potentially was going to hit the racetrack. And then a few laps later in the stage, Justin Allgaier got a really strong run and basically passed 2 for 1 and got by Ty Gibbs and Riley Herbst to get up to second. And Justin Allgaier was trying to close in on Hunter Nemechek, but he would not have anything for him as he only got by with 2 to go. He would not catch him, and Hunter Nemechek would win stage number 2. As they were coming down pit road to have the pit stops under yellow, we saw Justin Allgaier get spun coming down pit road by Ty Gibbs and basically would spin. To me, that's a mistake 100% on Ty Gibbs. He absolutely ran into the back of Justin Allgaier. You got to know what's doing. He was probably checking his tachometer and checking his speeds on pit road. To me, that's a mistake absolutely on Ty Gibbs. I know Justin maybe could have turned in a little bit earlier. That's a really scary situation. Luckily, no one got clipped in that situation. It's a little bit of a mistake by Ty Gibbs. Maybe Justin could have moved a little bit over a little earlier, but Ty needs to be paying attention a little bit more to that, and he was not making any more friends on the racetrack. Because of that, Justin Allgaier would be all the way back to basic 30th position on the restart. So, On the restart, John Hunter Nemechek lead the field from the outside with Austin Hill on the inside, actually dropped to the bottom, and John Hunter Nemechek got a really strong run and was able to clear for the lead. At this point, Justin Allgaier was coming up to the front, restarted 30th, and by lap 96, he was already up to 7th position. And then you had green flag pit stops starting to happen with around 25 laps to go. Justin Allgaier came down pit road, but he would get a penalty for too many men over the wall too soon. A massive mistake by the team to take Justin Allgaier out of contention. I think he could have driven back up front, but he had that penalty. And then all other cars came down pit road, that being John Nemechek and Josh Berry. And then Austin Hill was complaining on the radio they had a transmission issue. So after this point, you had the green flag pit stops completed with John Nemechek having about a 2-second lead over Josh Berry. But Josh Berry was starting to close it on John Nemechek, who was about 1.7 seconds ahead. And it looked like John Hunter, though, was going to cruise the victory. And then we would see the final caution day come out with 13 laps to go. Patrick Emerling, who hit the outside wall really, really hard and had a flat tire, just lost a tire and hit the outside wall really, really hard, ending his day. So then most leaders stayed out under the caution, but Cole Custer, Justin Allgaier, Ryan Sieg, Sage Karam, and Brian Moffitt all decided to play strategy and came down pit road. So then on the restart, you had John Nemechek lead the field from the outside with Ty Gibbs on the inside, and Josh Berry and Brandon Jones decided to go up on the outside as well. John Hunter would get a really, really strong restart and was able to clear for the race lead. Josh Berry was trying to close in, was trying to make a move to the inside, but could not pass John Nemechek for the race lead and dropped way back. And then Brandon Jones basically got into the back of Josh Berry, and he went to the inside, and they dropped way too far back, and it lost a lot of time. I don't know what Brandon Jones is trying to do there. They should have worked together. I know Brandon's trying to win a race at this point, but they could have worked together to get up there and catch John Hunter, but it would not be enough to catch him. And John Nemechek, as it came to white flag, had a 1.2-second lead over Josh Berry. They were not going to catch him. On the lap, he had Chandler Swift get in the outside wall and had a flat tire coming down the backstretch, but it would not matter in the end. And coming off the final corner, John Hunter Nemechek comes back from a spin and picks up his 5th win of the 2023 season, gives Joe Gibbs Racing their 200th NASCAR Xfinity Series victory, and picks up a very, very convincing victory. Massive congratulations, John Hunter Nemechek. I don't think Nemechek had the fastest car in the field. I know coming to weekend they thought he was going to be kind of a threat to get the victory, but this is definitely a convincing victory. The last weeks for him had not gone very, very good. And I didn't think he was going to come back and win this race after what happened, but an impressive comeback for John Hunter Nemechek, a big win for him, and a pretty big statement win, as there's a lot of talk about his future. He may be going cup racing full-time, and with the announcement of Mark Truex Jr. going full-time next year in 2024, I would imagine he will likely be getting that 42 car for Legacy Motor Club in 2024. Nonetheless, a massive congratulations to him on picking up the victory. So now we're going to take a look at the race results, and I'll give you my score of today's race. So John Hunter Nemechek picks up the victory. Josh Berry finishes second. Josh Berry had a top 2, top 3 car pretty much all day long. I think at times he was faster than John Hunter Nemechek. I think he could have caught him if the caution didn't come out, but a great day nonetheless for Josh Berry in second place. He's going to run the cup race tomorrow as well for Noah Gragson. Brandon Jones finishes third. Best run I think he's had pretty much all year long. That 9 car had some pretty good pace and pretty good speed as well. Thought he was going to have a chance to win. They put a good car out there. Made a little mistake trying to pass Josh Berry, but his best run today for sure. Makes up a lot of ground in the championship trying to get in the playoffs. I feel like the 9 team's getting a little better. He finishes third. Ty Gibbs finishes fourth. Despite the controversy, a great comeback for Ty Gibbs to finish fourth. I had picked him coming into the weekend to win, and certainly I thought he was going to have a chance to win the race, but nonetheless, a solid comeback for Ty Gibbs in fourth place. Sam Mayer finishes fifth. He was all over the place at times throughout this race, getting loose and nearly wrecking, but another good run for Sam Mayer in fifth place. Good run for him in fifth. Riley Herbst finishes sixth. Riley Herbst had a top 2 or top 3 car. They had a bad pit stop near the end of the race during green flag pit stops that cost him a shot, but he does get a solid top 10 finish. I feel like Riley Herbst is really starting to click and finish better. He was struggling in the middle of the season, but they're starting to finally get stuff together. That crew chief change has been a benefit for Riley Herbst. Ross Chastain finished 7th. Thought he'd be a threat to win this race and certainly had top 10 car, but he had damage on the front of the car that cost him a shot. So, though, a solid top 10 for Ross Chastain. Parker Kligerman finishes 8th. Good run for Parker Kligerman. I don't think he's really going to make up a lot of ground on the cutoff line because Sheldon Creed did have a solid run as well, but a good top 10 for Parker Kligerman, 8th place. Parker Reslap finishes 9th. Solid run for this 31 team. There are times where this 31 team just shines and runs really, really good. Good to see Parker Reslap finish in the top 10 and 9th. And Jeb Burton finishes 7th. Good to see both Jordan Anderson race cars finish in the top 10. He had a great restart near the end of the race with some strategy as well and gets a very solid top 10 finish. Good run for Jeb Burton in 10th place. Austin Hill finished 11th. He had a top 5 car, but unfortunately was complaining about not having low gears, basically like high gears in the car near the end of the race. But he does recover a little bit to finish in 11th. Decent run for Austin Hill. Sheldon Creed finished 12th. Basically was non-existent pretty much all day. They played a strategy call. They just were not a factor all day. They ran at best about 12th, and it's unfortunately not a great day for Sheldon Creed in 12th place. Ryan Sieg finishes 13th, decent run for him. Justin Allgaier finished 14th. Want to talk about Justin Allgaier. He had by far the fastest car in this race and should have won. And this is the second week in a row that 17 has been the fastest car. And unfortunately, they had to spin on pit road, and then they threw it away with the too many men over the wall. That car was so fast in coming to the field, but unfortunately, Allgaier never had a chance and an opportunity to get back up front. What a shame. Another race of Junior Motorsports chokes away. Another race of Justin Allgaier chokes away. He finishes 14th. Daniel Hemrick finished 15th. Not a good day for him. At best, right about 10th or 11th. Just not a good day for Daniel Hemrick in 15th. Cole Custer finished 16th. He had a top 5 car that came down to road. They were complaining about a vibration near the end of the race, and they slightly recovered back to 16th. Brent Moffitt finished 17th. They were really fast in practice. I was a little surprised how far they were off in the race, but they finished 17th. Anthony Alfredo finishes 18th. Kyle Sieg finishes 19th. Chandler Smith, after the flat tire issues, he finished 20th. Kaz Gralla finished 21st. Josh Williams finished 22nd. Ryan Ellis finished 23rd. He signed a contract extension out Prime Racing for next year, so he'll be back there full time. Jeffrey Hart finished 24th. Considering where that team was, and they almost failed to qualify all their cars, they do recover to finish top 25. Sage Karam finished 25th. How about that for MBM Motorsports? Solid pace in the 6.6 car. I didn't think they were going to make even the field this weekend. For them finishing the top 25, that is pretty impressive. Jeremy Clemens finished 26th. Joe Graff Jr. finished 27th. Dawson Cram with a solid top 30 finish, 28th place. Good run for CHK Racing. Brennan Poole finished 29th. Garrett Smidley finished 30th. Seven Parsons finished 31st. Carson Osbar finished 32nd. I think Carson could have had a chance to win this race today. Unfortunately, got caught up in one of the early wrecks that cost him a great run. They never had the pace after that. They still continue chugging along. Good experience for Carson because he's likely potentially going to be either in Xfinity or Cup next year. Just a shame Carson could have had a car to contend today in this race. Blaine Perkins finishes 33rd. Patrick Emerling finishes 34th. Kyle Weatherman, after falling out of the race with an electrical issue, he finished 35th. Connor Mose, after crashing out, he finished 36th. Mason Maggio finished 37th. And finishing last in 30th place is Sammy Smith. So now, let's talk about the overall race as a whole, and I'll give you my score of today's race. Honestly, I feel like at times this race was pretty good when you had some good racing up front, but I feel like this race at times also got strung out as well. I'll be honest about Michigan's Raceway. I don't think Michigan is the greatest track in the world. It does produce good racing from time to time, but unfortunately today it just produced not the greatest racing in the world, and ever since the repave, the track has never aged. Tire fall-off really is not a major thing. You only lose like 1 second of tire fall-off throughout a whole run, and that's not a lot of tire fall-off out on the racetrack, so you can gang up on somebody and tires don't really matter that much. I think there was good racing for time down, but it got strung out a little bit. So for me, today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race, I'm going to give this race overall a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, I'll give this race 6.5 out of 10 is going to be my score for today's race. It was decent. It wasn't great. It was nothing special. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. So, that is going to be it for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race view from Michigan International Raceway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links are below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's race. What are your thoughts on today's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below. And congratulate Hunter Nemechek on picking up Jogas Racing's 200 victory in Xfinity. Congratulations to them on doing that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, hopefully we'll have a NASCAR Cup Series race review from Michigan. If not, there should be a 2024 NASCAR silly season predictions on the channel tomorrow for the season as well. And maybe also a postponement of the race. We'll have to wait and see. The weather has not looked great over the last couple hours. Then on Monday, if the race does happen down, we'll have a race review then. We got a lot of NASCAR news to be dropping on the channel, so we'll be discussing on the channel as well. And we're also getting really close to 2,000 subscribers on the channel. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.